Okay guys, we're in the cornfield, came back the next day. It's day 11. You can see the stand of corn we have. Looking down here at the ground, you can see our weed pressure is relatively mild. There are some spots over there in the low part of the bottom, but I can't get my residue to flow through my cultivator. And so I polished the shanks yesterday, I showed you that. And it's driving me batty. What I'm getting is I get a ball rolled up like that. And when the ball rolls up, the wheel quits turning. And it's very frustrating. So, organic farming is not all roses and daisies. My son has a scowl on his face because he's been riding on the fender helping me here watch plugs. I don't have eyes on the back of my head. Right there on the row, that residue. So a lot of times in organic farming, you just have to kind of put your head down and keep going. It's hard to know what the exact right thing to do is, but for the record, this problem that I'm dealing with here, this is the first time I've ever had this problem in about 30 years of farming. And so this bean field yielded crazy high last year. I showed you, this was the field where I did the cultivation video with my brother-in-law right at the end. And it's also where I filmed combining. But what has happened is we have been in drought, which is atypical for us. We have dry spells, but we don't have dry 7 and 8 month long spells. Well, that's what we've had ever since last harvest. And so what's going on here is we had a lot of residue. The residue did not rot down. Coupled with, I think I heard from the weather service the other day, we had the driest spring we've ever had. This corn, we're at day 11. We haven't had a rain on it, which is atypical for me. Usually my corn has a rain on it between planting and first cultivation. Last year I showed you cultivating in a cornfield. Well, that cornfield had had a beautiful rain on it. Rain helps the soil flow through. It helps the residue flow through. It makes the cultivator work. So back to the problem today. We have polished our shanks. We've pulled our depth up, and I have brought my son along to help watch for plugs. And we're gonna put our heads down and we're gonna do the couple weedy spots in this field, and then we will probably pull out. You can see what it looks like where we have cultivated. This is where the cultivator has run. The other day I was talking about that height differential on the weeds, and so I am killing a lot of weeds. I'm knocking down a few corn plants, but I plant thick enough that that will be covered. The bad thing about pulling my depth up is I am not putting quite enough dirt here in on the row. And if you look down close here on the row, you can see a couple baby foxtails. I should have been going fast enough and had enough depth to do that right there, but I haven't because of these conditions that I'm in. So anyway, you're always confronting unique problems, and the only way to learn these things is to work at them. So thanks, guys.